Hey everybody, it's You'll Shoot Right Out, and let's make something cool. So we're going to start off with crutch. Pretty simple, pretty cheap. Everybody can probably track one of those down. And we're going to make something awesome with it. We're going to make this slingshot. It's a collapsible slingshot. You can use it, like that, or in its extended version. It's an 8-inch travel extension. You can really lob it full way like that. Anyway, it's made from just the one crutch with a couple extra pieces and a little bit of hardware and not very much time. So let's take a look. All right, let's take a look at what we'll need here. We're going to use all of this section here. I'm going to use the handle, which from over here. So I already took the handle out, so we'll need to set that aside. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to disassemble this piece here and just flip it over. And then we'll reuse this pin here, and we'll replace that with some threaded rod, and we'll attach the handle there, and we'll reuse this coupler here. And then we'll just cut it to length where we want. All right, we're up in the vise now. I'm gonna drill out this rivet here. There's a little, let me see if I can show you. Right here, this piece right here, it's just a bent washer, but I like the look of it. It's nice and clean, so we got to keep that. So I want to get that rivet out without damaging it. So I'm going to use, I got a 1/4-inch drill bit, and I'm just going to drill this out. So let's do that now. And we'll drill out, there's a little, just a push-in rivet here that I'm just going to drill that out. All right, so that bar comes loose. So I'll take this apart. I can leave that in there. So now we need to put our handle through here. So we have to turn this one over. So I'm just going to turn this one over, reinstall it. Like this, just like that. Once we get it reinstalled, I'm gonna cut some threaded rod to length. Okay, so I've got the threaded rod installed. It's got a nut and a washer up top. You can use you're better off using an acorn washer, which I'll replace here in just a minute. I have to go to the hardware store and grab one. I didn't have one on hand, but let's look here. So this is the part we're working on, obviously. Oh, in fact, I put the wrong washer on there. Where's the washer that I set aside? It's right over here. Okay, here's the washer that we set aside. That goes on there. And then you put your nut on there. Okay. Now for this end of the handle, when you hold this slingshot, when you're holding this slingshot, the torque makes the handle push off. It would want to slide off of there. So what you have to do is you have to use a larger washer on the bottom that holds everything in place. So this washer just has to be big enough to trap the grip on there. So line it up where you want, and then you could mark it where you want to cut it. Let's see, I'm going to mark it right there. So I'm going to mark it, and now I'm just going to cut it with a hacksaw, and we'll clean it up with a file. So I'll take care of that and be right back. Alright, I've cut the rod to length, chamfered over the edges, top and bottom. I found an acorn nut, a chromed out acorn nut. Here's that washer, that bent washer. That's going to go back on. And then the pieces will fit together. lined up. There we go. Handle goes on. Big washer. And then I have a nylock nut here. And I'm running number 10, 24 for the thread and everything. Okay, so let me get some tools here. Okay, that's pretty good. Now you want to make sure at this point that you're even up and down. Looks pretty good because you can move it. You can get some play in it side to side by twisting. So you want it squared up pretty good. Looks good. So now I'm going to drill in this hole right here. I'm going to drill that in, and we'll we'll make an attachment there, fastener with one of these, a metal screw, self-tapping metal screw. So let me drill that hole. All right, let's put a dimple in there so our hole's not wandering around. There. There we go. So we're all fit together. That's nice and sturdy. We'll cut it to length. We'll measure it, cut it to length, and then we'll go build some stuff out of some hdpe. All right, let's measure where we want this to go. How you do that is, I like to kind of grab it. This is how I hold it. But you want to find out, where you want this to stop. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement this way. You just decide the farthest point back. Now, the farther back it is towards your elbow, the more leverage you're going to get out of it. But if it gets too far back, it'll be uncomfortable to shoot. So I'm going to go right around there. So now I'll transfer this mark across here, and then I'll cut them both off. All right, let's transfer it. I'm just going to use a square. Just try and make these pipes, you can spread them with your fingers a little bit, just make them even. Doesn't have to be exact, just pretty close to parallel. Okay. So now we'll just use a hacksaw and cut those off. All right, here we go. Hacksaw. Now I'm going to use a little bit of sandpaper just to smooth over those edges. Should be fine. Okay, let's see how that fits. It's going to look nice. Okay, so that's going to fit great. So our next step is to make the tailstock and to make the fork attachment. The forks, because it's an extended fork slingshot, I made it so that it would hold up to 1-inch wide bands. So the forks are 1 inch across. I'm a bit of an experienced shooter, so the fork, let's see here, the clearance from the fork is, over this way. The clearance over the top of the fork down the body of the slingshot is not a lot, but you shoot it, there will be a bit of an angle there with the band, just that's how butterfly tends to work out. So if you're not very familiar with slingshots, you might make one that has a little bit taller fork. You can make it, you just add 1 inch to it or 1/2 inch to it, whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, so here I've got my templates made out, and found a piece of hdpe. It's big enough. I put them on there, traced them out. So now I'm going to cut these out. All right, I got them rough cut out on the bandsaw. Now I'll have to apply the templates to them, and then we'll hit them with the router. So, okay, to attach the template to the hdpe, I'm using double-sided tape. And so you just cut it off and stick it on there, and then you gotta get this peeled off. It's a little tricky, but not too bad. And once you get it peeled off, there you go. Just comes off like that. Okay, got it on there. You're gonna want to clamp this down pretty hard, so I like to use a pair of vice grips. But if you had, like, I don't know, whatever, clamps, screw clamps would work. I just like this one because it's pretty quick. But you want to give it a real good squeeze. Make sure that it's properly seated. There you go. All right, test fit the pieces. We're going to be using a 1/4-inch roundover bit. The only thing we have left to do is address how the attachment system is going to work. And for this one, I'm going to put top slots in. So we're going to have to cut a slot, drill a hole, and we also have to drill a hole and countersink it to run a bolt to secure it on permanently. All right, I've scribed a line there. Actually two, but I want this one. This one kind of a little bit close to the middle. I'm going to go, because this is a top slot, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and put it a little closer to the front, so giving myself more meat to pull against with these bands. Okay, I've got the fork in this vise. It's all lined up, so I'm going to drill out this hole, and then I'll have to realign it for the other side. So there you can see the hole lined up really well. All right, I'm going to drill the other side just like that. Okay, so we still need to get the hole that's drilled across here to lock this in position. So I need to find kind of the center spot. You're going across. So I reattached the plate, and I'm going to mark where I want to drill. Razor blade. Put a scratch in there, about the middle. It's good right there. All right, that's where we need to drill. All right, so I drilled the hole, countersunk it both sides. We're going to fit this screw here and this nut through there, but I got to drill a hole. Got to drill a hole in here first. Okay, so that's all tightened up, snugged in there. That's not going anywhere. All right, now we just need to put one more hole right back here, sink in a screw, and we're done. All right, let's drill this hole in here. I want to countersink that just a little bit. All right. Oh, one last final touch. Ah. There we go. Throw some bands on it, take some shots. I'm going to be shooting a 3/8 inch steel. All right, let's take a look at what we done. Bounced it, punched it through, but it kind of got it going on the side there. Let's see if we can't get a more direct hit. Yeah, I've just hit the bottom of it. Look, I hit it twice right there on the bottom lip. Let's try and get one a little higher up. Yeah, I kept creasing the bottom of it here. I shot it enough times now that my band tie came loose. I'll have to retie this band set. Okay, I got a new can set up, and this time we're going to shoot my prototype. It's got a much wider band set. It's a straight cut 1 inch wide band set that stretches out to about 76 inches. And this time we're going to be shooting 7/8 or half inch. Let's see here. Yeah, there's 3/8 and then there's half inch. So we're going to be slinging some bigger steel. Let's see what that does. Yeah, and I punched it through there. If it's a warmer out, it's a little cool right now, but if it's warmer out, you can punch through both sides of that can with with 1/2" steel. Well, that was it. Hope you liked it. Maybe you can make like something cool out of a crutch or something like that around the house. Slingshots are a lot of fun. And if you got any questions about like different attachment methods, like the top slots that these use, I've got some other videos explaining all of that. Thanks for watching.